My child, stop what you are doing for a moment and listen to me carefully, because what I am about to tell you is not small. These are not ordinary words, and this is not an ordinary moment in your life. You did not come across this message by accident. I have guided you here because there is something your heart needs to hear right now. For a long time, you have carried burdens in silence. You smiled in front of others while hiding battles no one could see. You kept going even when your strength was fading. There were nights when you laid awake wondering if things would ever change, wondering if I still saw your pain, wondering if your prayers were disappearing into silence. But my child, I heard every word. I saw every tear. I was with you in every moment you thought you were alone. Listen closely to me now, because heaven has already made a decision concerning your life. There are people who looked at your situation and assumed your story was over. They saw the delays, they saw the closed doors, they saw the mistakes and disappointments, and thought you would never recover from them. But they could not see what I was doing behind the scenes. They could not see the plans I was preparing for you while you were still fighting silent battles in the dark. I tell you this with love and with certainty. Everything is about to change. The season you are walking into will not look like the season you came from. I am about to remove things that have been draining your spirit. I am about to open doors you thought would never open again. I am about to restore parts of your heart that have been exhausted for far too long. What felt delayed was not denied. What felt lost was not forgotten. Even now, I am moving pieces into place in ways you cannot yet see. But hear me carefully, my beloved, because there is still something you do not know. The reason the enemy fought you so hard is because he was afraid of who you were becoming. He knew there was a purpose over your life greater than the pain you have endured. He knew that if you kept trusting me, even through the confusion, you would eventually step into the very season he tried to keep from you. And now, that season is closer than you think. My child, I need you to understand something deeply today. There has never been a single moment of your life that escaped my eyes. Not one tear, not one fearful thought, not one silent battle that you fought behind closed doors. I saw everything you tried to hide from the world. I saw the moments when you smiled so others would not ask questions, even though your heart was heavy. I saw the exhaustion you carried while pretending you were fine. I saw the nights when you stared into the darkness wondering how much longer you could keep going like this. And even when no one else understood the weight you were carrying, I understood. I was there. I was there in the moments when disappointment broke your heart again and again. I was there when people walked away from you without explanation. I was there when you gave your love, your time, and your energy only to feel forgotten in return. My child, none of those moments were hidden from me. I heard the prayers you whispered through tears. I heard the questions you were afraid to say out loud. I heard you asking me, Lord, do you still see me? Do you still have a plan for my life? And my beloved, the answer has always been yes. Even when you felt abandoned, I stayed beside you. Even when your faith became weak, I held on to you. Even when your mind was filled with fear and confusion, my hand remained over your life. There were moments you thought you were falling apart, but it was my strength that carried you through the days you thought would break you. Listen carefully now, because this is important. The enemy wanted you to believe your pain meant you were forgotten. He wanted you to think the silence meant I had left you behind. He tried to convince you that your waiting had no meaning and your tears had no purpose. But my child, the truth is completely different. I was working in places you could not see. While you were crying, I was protecting you. While you were waiting, I was preparing you. While you were feeling rejected, I was redirecting your path toward something greater. Nothing you endured has been wasted. Not the heartbreak, not the loneliness, not the confusion, not even the seasons that seemed empty and hopeless. I will use every part of your story for good. The pain that almost destroyed you will become the testimony that strengthens someone else. The battles you survived will become proof that my hand was upon you all along. One day you will look back and realize that even in your darkest season, I was guiding your steps with more love than you understood at the time. My child, I know there were moments when you became tired of being strong. Moments when your spirit felt drained from carrying burdens you never talked about. You kept showing up for others while silently falling apart inside. You kept fighting battles in your mind that no one around you knew existed. But I saw it all. I saw the tears you wiped away quickly before anyone noticed. I saw the anxiety you hid behind your silence. I saw the heaviness sitting on your chest while you tried to act normal. And through every moment, I stayed close to you. You were never abandoned. You were never forgotten. You were never fighting alone. Even now, as you hear these words, I want you to feel my presence surrounding you. I want you to understand that the reason you survived everything that tried to break you is because I never released my hold on your life. There were times when you felt weak, but my strength was carrying you even when you did not recognize it. And hear me clearly, my beloved, because there is something your heart must remember right now. The tears you cried in secret have already reached heaven. The prayers you thought went unanswered have already been heard. And the season that once wounded you so deeply will soon become the very season that reveals how faithful I have always been. So do not lose hope now. Do not give up when you are closer than you realize. Because while you thought nothing was happening, I was already preparing the next chapter of your life. My child, I know there were many moments when you questioned why the waiting lasted so long. You prayed, you believed, you tried to remain faithful even when nothing around you seemed to change. And there were days when the silence felt heavier than the struggle itself. You wondered if I had forgotten the promises placed on your heart. You wondered why doors remained closed no matter how hard you knocked. But listen to me carefully now. The waiting was never punishment. The waiting had purpose. I allowed certain delays because there were things happening behind the scenes that you could not yet understand. There were paths you wanted to walk that would have wounded you deeply. There were people you wanted to hold on to who could not go where I was leading you. There were opportunities that looked good in the moment but would have slowly drained the life from your spirit. And because I love you, I said no to things you begged me for. I protected you in ways you never recognized. There were moments when you thought rejection meant failure, but it was actually my protection covering your future. There were times you cried over closed doors while I was saving you from pain you could not yet see. My child, if I removed something from your life, it was never to harm you. It was to prepare you for something greater. Nothing was wasted. Not the waiting, not the loneliness, not the unanswered questions. Every season carried a purpose. Even the moments that felt empty were shaping your heart in ways that blessings alone never could. I was teaching you to trust me when you could not see the outcome. I was strengthening your spirit so that when the time came for greater responsibilities and greater blessings, you would be ready to carry them. Hear me clearly now. If I had given you everything too early, it would have crushed you instead of blessing you. There were parts of your character that still needed healing. There were wounds inside you that needed my touch before you stepped into the next season. I cared more about preparing you properly than rushing you into something before your heart was ready. That is why the process took time. I was not ignoring your prayers. I was answering them carefully. My beloved, there were also battles happening that you could not see with your natural eyes. The enemy fought hard to discourage you because he knew there was something valuable attached to your future. He wanted exhaustion to make you quit. He wanted disappointment to harden your heart. He wanted delays to convince you that nothing good was coming. But even while you were struggling, I was still holding your future securely in my hands. You survived because I sustained you. You kept going because my strength never left you. And now I need you to understand something important. The waiting season changed you. You are not the same person you were before the pain. You pray differently now. You see people differently now. You depend on me differently now. The struggles that once made you feel weak have actually deepened your spirit in ways you still do not fully realize. One day you will thank me for the doors I did not open. One day you will understand why certain relationships ended. One day you will see that every delay was positioning you exactly where you needed to be. But hear me now, my child, because this part is important. Just because the waiting was long does not mean the promise was canceled. Just because the process was painful does not mean I abandoned you. And just because you could not see me moving does not mean heaven was standing still. Even now, things are beginning to shift around you. Pieces are moving into place. Doors are starting to unlock. What once felt delayed is beginning to unfold in my perfect timing. The season of confusion will not last forever. The season of wondering will not last forever. because the things I prepared for you during the waiting are finally getting closer than ever before. My child, there were people who never expected you to rise again. They looked at the battles you faced and assumed the weight would eventually break you. They saw your setbacks and believed your story would end in disappointment. Some watched you struggle in silence and quietly decided that you would never recover from the pain you carried, but they could not see what I placed inside of you. They judged your future by your wounds. They judged your destiny by your delays. They judged your strength by the tears you cried in private. But my beloved, they never understood that I was still writing your story. There were seasons when even you questioned whether you would rise again. The pain became so heavy that you stopped recognizing the person you used to be. You became tired of hoping, tired of waiting, tired of trying to stay strong while carrying burdens nobody else could see. Some days you smiled only because you did not have the energy to explain what was really happening inside your heart. And still, you kept going. You kept walking through days that tried to drain your spirit. You kept breathing through moments that felt unbearable. You kept holding on to me even when your faith felt weak and exhausted. My child, do you understand how powerful that is? The enemy thought the pressure would make you quit. He thought the betrayal would harden your heart forever. He thought the disappointment would silence your prayers and convince you that nothing good was ahead of you anymore. But every attack against your life failed to destroy the purpose I placed over you. You are still here, and that alone is proof that my hand has been upon you. Listen carefully now, because this is important. The reason the battle became so intense is because there is something valuable attached to your future. Darkness does not fight empty things. The enemy does not attack without reason. He saw the calling over your life long before you recognized it yourself. He saw the strength I was building inside you during the painful seasons. He saw the blessing waiting on the other side of your obedience, and he became afraid of the person you were becoming. But my child, what I have spoken over your life cannot be destroyed. People may have doubted you. People may have underestimated you. Some may have walked away from you when you needed them most. But I never changed my mind about you. I still chose you. I still called you. I still prepared a future filled with purpose for you. There were moments when you felt hidden, but you were not abandoned. I was developing your strength in private before revealing your blessing publicly. I was teaching you how to survive difficult seasons, so that success would never pull your heart away from me later. I was shaping your character through the struggle because where I am leading you requires deeper faith, deeper wisdom, and deeper trust. Nothing about your pain was meaningless. Every tear carried purpose. Every disappointment carried a lesson. Every delay was building endurance inside your spirit. And now, my beloved, the season is beginning to change. The same people who saw you struggle will witness your restoration. The same voices that doubted you will see my favor over your life. The same situations that once made you cry will become testimonies of my faithfulness. I am not only lifting you out of the darkness, I am teaching you how to walk in confidence again. I am restoring the parts of your heart that became tired from fighting silent battles for too long. I am breathing new strength into your spirit. I am awakening dreams you buried because disappointment convinced you they would never happen. Hear me clearly now. Your story is not ending in defeat. Your life is not defined by what tried to break you. You are rising from this season stronger, wiser, and closer to me than before. And what I am about to do in your life will leave no room for doubt that my hand has been guiding you all along. The people around you may not fully understand the changes already beginning inside you. Some will still see the old version of you. Some will still remember your failures more than your growth. But do not allow their limited vision to shape the way you see yourself. Because I see who you are becoming. I see the strength returning to your spirit. I see the confidence rising again inside your heart. I see the future waiting ahead of you. And my child, the next chapter of your life will reveal a version of you that pain could not destroy, fear could not stop, and darkness could not overcome. What is coming will prove that I was with you the entire time. My child, as you step closer to the season I have prepared for you, there is something important you must understand. Not everything from your past can go with you into your future. There are things I am removing from your life right now, and even though some of those changes feel painful, you must trust that my hand is still guiding you. I do not remove things to destroy you. I remove things to protect you. There are relationships that have been draining your peace for too long. There are environments that have slowly weakened your spirit. There are habits, thoughts, and attachments that once felt comfortable but can no longer remain if you are going to walk into the life I prepared for you. My beloved, some things were only meant for a season, not for your destiny. And I know letting go has not been easy for you. You held on to certain people because you feared being alone. You held on to certain situations because they felt familiar, even when they hurt you. You kept returning to places that exhausted your spirit because part of you hoped things would eventually change. But hear me clearly now. If I am removing something from your life, it is because it cannot follow you where I am leading you. Do not fight my pruning process. A gardener trims branches not because he hates the tree, but because he wants it to grow stronger. In the same way, I am removing distractions, unhealthy attachments, and hidden burdens so that your spirit can flourish again. Some doors must close forever so better doors can finally open. My child, there are people around you who only knew the broken version of you. They became comfortable with your fear, your insecurity, and your silence. But I did not create you to remain trapped in survival mode forever. I created you for freedom. I created you for peace. I created you to walk in confidence, purpose, and deeper faith. That is why certain changes have become necessary. You may not fully understand everything now, but one day you will realize that what hurt your heart was actually saving your future. One day you will thank me for the relationships that ended, the plans that failed, and the doors that never opened. Because if those things had remained, they would have kept you from becoming the person you were meant to be. Listen carefully, because this part is important. Do not allow fear to make you return to what I already delivered you from. Do not return to places that nearly destroyed your peace. Do not reopen doors I already closed. And do not shrink yourself just to stay connected to people who were never assigned to your future. My beloved, the next season of your life requires a different version of you. It requires stronger faith, clearer vision, greater wisdom. You cannot carry old chains into a new season and expect to walk freely. You cannot keep feeding fear while praying for peace. You cannot stay attached to what is draining you while asking me to restore your strength. I am calling you higher now. Higher in your thinking, higher in your faith, higher in the way you see yourself. And yes, the process of change may feel uncomfortable at times. There will be moments when you question why certain things had to end. There will be moments when loneliness tries to convince you that letting go was a mistake. But trust me in the middle of the transition. Trust me when the path feels unfamiliar. Trust me when you cannot yet see the full picture. Because I am not removing things to leave you empty. I am making room for what belongs to you. I am making room for healthier relationships. I am making room for peace in your mind. I am making room for opportunities that align with your purpose. I am making room for the blessings you have prayed about for so long. So stop grieving everything I removed as if it was your final loss. Some endings are actually divine rescue. Some separations are actually answered prayers. Some closed doors are the very evidence that my protection has been surrounding your life all along. Type, I trust your timing, if you believe I am leading you into something greater than what you left behind. And hear me now, my child. The pain of letting go will never compare to the joy of where I am taking you next. My child, even if you cannot fully see it yet, the new season you have been praying for has already begun. The changes may seem small right now. The signs may feel easy to overlook. But beneath the surface, I am already moving things into place for you. Heaven is not silent. Heaven is active. While you were wondering if anything was changing, I was already as you aligning people, opportunities, and moments that would lead you toward the next chapter of your life. What you thought was delay was actually preparation. What looked like stillness was actually unseen movement. And now the season you cried for in private is beginning to unfold before your eyes. Listen carefully to me now. The breakthrough you prayed for did not disappear. The promise I spoke over your life did not expire. And the dreams you buried in disappointment are not dead. I have been working on your behalf this entire time. Even now there are doors beginning to unlock that you cannot yet see. There are conversations taking place that will affect your future. There are opportunities slowly moving toward your path. There are people I am positioning who will encourage you instead of draining you, who will help you grow instead of keeping you trapped in fear. My beloved, the reason you feel something shifting inside your spirit is because this season is different from the ones before it. You are no longer standing in the same place emotionally, spiritually, or mentally. The person who once felt defeated is slowly learning how to hope again. The person who once lived in constant fear is beginning to hear my voice louder than the voice of anxiety. That is not accidental. That is my hand restoring you. For so long, you became used to surviving. You became used to disappointment. You became used to expecting things to fall apart before they even had a chance to grow. But I am teaching your heart how to trust again. I am teaching your spirit how to believe again. I am showing you that your future will not look like your past forever. And hear me now, my child, because this part is important. Do not allow old fears to speak louder than the new thing I am doing in your life. The enemy wants you to expect failure, because failure once wounded you deeply. He wants you to approach every blessing with fear because disappointment once broke your heart. But I did not bring you this far just to leave you trapped in the same cycles you prayed to escape from. This new season carries my favor. This new season carries healing. This new season carries opportunities you once believed were impossible. There are prayers you stopped speaking because you thought too much time had passed. There are dreams you quietly released because pain convinced you they would never happen. But my child, I am able to restore what life tried to steal from you. I am able to bring beauty from brokenness. I am able to create a future greater than the one you imagined for yourself. Do not lose hope now. You are closer than you realize. The very things that once made you cry will soon become evidence that I was guiding you all along. You will walk into places you once believed were out of reach. You will experience peace in areas of your life that once felt filled with chaos. You will finally breathe again without carrying constant heaviness in your spirit. And when the fullness of this season unfolds, you will understand why I asked you to keep trusting me through the waiting. You will understand why certain doors had to close. You will understand why certain people had to leave. You will understand why the process took longer than you wanted. Because I was not preparing temporary happiness for you. I was preparing lasting transformation. My beloved, there are blessings ahead of you that cannot be stopped by fear, delayed by people, or destroyed by the mistakes of your past. What I have planned for your life is already in motion. Even now, pieces are falling into place that your natural eyes cannot fully see yet. So stop speaking as though nothing is happening. Stop believing the lie that your prayers were wasted. Stop assuming your story will always remain the same. Because the season is already changing around you. You are stepping into a chapter filled with restoration, clarity, healing, and favor. And soon, you will look back at this moment and realize that while you thought you were waiting on me, I was already preparing miracles ahead of you. You are about to walk into rooms you once cried outside of. My child, as you begin stepping into this new season, you must stay alert, because the enemy will try to distract you now more than ever before. He knows he cannot stop the plans I have for your life, so he will attempt to weaken your focus instead. He will try to fill your mind with fear, confusion, discouragement, and unnecessary battles in hopes that you will lose sight of what I am doing. That is why you must guard your heart carefully in this season. Not every voice deserves your attention. Not every opinion deserves your energy. And not every distraction deserves a response from you. Listen closely to me now. The enemy often attacks hardest when breakthrough is near. He wants you exhausted before you reach the blessing. He wants you doubting before the door opens. He wants temporary emotions to make you abandon permanent promises. That is why you may suddenly feel old fears trying to return. That is why negative thoughts may become louder. That is why unexpected frustrations may appear even while I am preparing something beautiful ahead of you. But do not panic. These distractions are not proof that I abandoned you. They are proof that the enemy is nervous about where I am taking you. My beloved, you cannot afford to let fear guide your decisions anymore. Fear will tell you to give up too early. Fear will tell you to stay small because disappointment once hurt you. Fear will tell you to expect rejection before people even speak. But I did not create you to live trapped inside anxiety and constant worry. I created you to walk by faith. So, when doubt tries to speak louder than my promises, return your focus to me. When discouragement tries to steal your peace, stay close to my presence. When confusion tries to cloud your thoughts, remember everything I already brought you through before. I did not protect you this far just to abandon you now. Hear me carefully, because this next part is important. The enemy also knows that your mind is powerful. If he can keep you distracted, emotionally drained, and spiritually discouraged, he hopes you will miss the opportunities I place in front of you. He hopes you will become so focused on temporary problems that you fail to recognize the doors I am beginning to open. That is why you must protect your peace in this season. Step away from unnecessary chaos. Stop carrying burdens I never asked you to carry. Stop replaying painful memories that I already began healing. And stop allowing people who live in constant negativity to shape the way you see your future. My child, where I am leading you requires clarity, focus, and spiritual strength. The next chapter of your life cannot be entered with the same fearful mindset that once kept you trapped in survival mode. I am teaching you how to think differently now. I am teaching you how to trust me even when distractions try to surround you. And yes, there will still be difficult moments ahead. There will still be days when emotions feel heavy. But you must remember this truth. Temporary attacks cannot cancel eternal promises. What I spoke over your life still stands. What I prepared for you is still moving forward. And what the enemy meant to use against you will only strengthen your testimony in the end. So do not lose focus now. Do not return to hopeless thinking now. Do not allow temporary distractions to pull you away from the future waiting ahead of you. Because what comes next in your life will require a stronger, wiser, and more focused version of you. And that is exactly who you are becoming. My child, the greatest transformation happening in your life right now is not only around you, it is happening inside you. While you have been praying for changed circumstances, I have been working deeply within your heart. Because before I change the environment around you, I must first strengthen the person living inside you. You have spent so much time asking me to remove the pain, but through that pain I was shaping your spirit into something stronger than before. I was teaching you endurance. I was teaching you wisdom. I was teaching you how to stand firm even when life became uncertain. And although the process felt uncomfortable, it was producing growth inside you that could not happen any other way. Listen carefully now. You are not the same person you were when this journey first began. The version of you that once lived in constant fear is slowly learning how to trust again. The version of you that once depended on the approval of others is beginning to understand your worth comes from me. The version of you that once felt weak and defeated is discovering strength that pain could not destroy. That change matters. Because where I am taking you next requires a healed heart, not just an improved situation. My beloved, there were wounds inside you that people could not see. Wounds created by rejection, disappointment, betrayal, and long seasons of emotional exhaustion. You became so used to surviving that you forgot what peace felt like. You learned how to hide your emotions. You learned how to expect disappointment before hope even had a chance to grow. But I am healing those broken places now. I am restoring your confidence. I am restoring your joy. I am restoring the parts of your spirit that became tired from carrying silent burdens for too long. You survived seasons that should have broken you completely, and even though you sometimes felt empty, you continued moving forward one step at a time. My child, never underestimate the strength I placed inside you. The fact that you are still standing after everything you endured is proof that my hand has been sustaining you this entire time. And hear me carefully, because this part is important. I am not only healing your pain, I am changing the way you see yourself. For too long, you viewed yourself through the lens of your failures, your fears, and your past mistakes. You allowed painful experiences to convince you that you were not enough. But my beloved, your identity was never meant to be built on what hurt you. Your identity is built on who I say you are. You are chosen. You are loved. You are still worthy of purpose. You are still capable of rising again. The enemy tried to make you believe your broken moments defined your future. But I am showing you that your story is much bigger than the chapters that wounded you. I am teaching you how to release shame. I am teaching you how to stop carrying guilt from seasons I already forgave. I am teaching you how to walk forward without constantly looking back at who you used to be. And yes, healing takes time. Some days you will feel strong. Some days old emotions will try to return. Some days you will still battle fear and uncertainty. But do not become discouraged by the process. Growth is still happening even on the difficult days. Healing is still happening even when you cannot feel it immediately. Every time you choose faith over fear, you are changing. Every time you choose peace instead of panic, you are changing. Every time you refuse to give up, you are becoming stronger than before. My child, the person you are becoming now will not recognize the version of you that once lived trapped in hopelessness. I am building deeper confidence inside you. I am building spiritual strength inside you. I am teaching you how to carry peace, even when life around you feels uncertain. And when this season fully unfolds, people will not only notice the blessings around you, they will notice the transformation within you. They will see a stronger spirit, a calmer heart, a wiser mind, a deeper faith. Because the greatest miracle I am performing right now is not only changing your circumstances, it is changing you from the inside out. My child, the blessings I am bringing into your life will not need constant explanation or endless effort to prove they came from me. What I am about to do for you will speak for itself. The peace I place within you will speak for itself. The strength returning to your spirit will speak for itself. The doors opening before you will speak for themselves. People will see the difference. Not because you forced them to notice, but because my hand over your life will become impossible to ignore. For a long time you felt overlooked. You felt unseen while others seemed to move ahead faster than you. There were moments when you questioned whether your prayers were making any difference at all. You watched others receive opportunities while you remained in seasons of waiting and uncertainty. But hear me clearly now. I was never ignoring you. I was preparing something deeper. Some blessings happen quickly and disappear just as fast. But what I have been building in your life carries lasting purpose. I was strengthening your foundation before releasing greater responsibility into your hands. I was teaching you how to remain humble through difficulty so success would never control your heart later. And now, my beloved, the season of hidden preparation is beginning to give way to visible restoration. The same people who once underestimated you will begin to see a new confidence in you. The same people who only witnessed your struggle will begin to witness your growth. The same people who assumed your best days were behind you will realize that your story is only beginning. But listen carefully, because this part is important. Your greatest blessing will not only be material things. Yes, I will open doors. Yes, I will bring opportunities. Yes, I will restore areas of your life that felt broken. But the greatest evidence of my work in your life will be the peace you carry now, a peace you did not have before, a strength that pain could not destroy, a wisdom that only came through surviving difficult seasons with me beside you. My child, there was a time when fear controlled your thoughts. There was a time when anxiety stole your rest and disappointment stole your confidence. But I am breaking those chains little by little. I am teaching you how to stand firm without constantly expecting everything to fall apart. And when people look at your life later, they will not just see external blessings. They will see transformation. They will see someone who survived darkness but still learned how to love again. Someone who survived disappointment but still learned how to trust again. Someone who went through painful seasons but refused to give up completely. That transformation will become part of your testimony. Hear me now. You do not need to chase validation anymore. You do not need to prove your worth to people who failed to recognize your value. You do not need to force doors open through exhaustion and fear. What I have prepared for you will arrive in the right time, through the right doors, with the right alignment. And when it happens, there will be no confusion that my hand was guiding your steps. My beloved, there are blessings ahead of you that will heal places inside your heart you thought would remain wounded forever. There are moments of joy ahead of you that will make you forget how heavy this season once felt. There are answered prayers moving toward you right now, even if you cannot fully see them yet. So stop speaking defeat over your future. Stop assuming your life will always remain the same. Stop believing the lie that your best days have already passed. Because the season ahead of you carries restoration. It carries peace. It carries favor. It carries opportunities that once seemed impossible. And one day very soon, You will stand in the middle of answered prayers and realize that every painful season, every closed door, and every delay was preparing you for the life I was building for you all along. The blessing coming into your life will not need defense. It will speak for itself. My child, as your life begins to change, you must be careful not to return to the version of yourself that I already brought you out of. Do not go back to the mindset that kept you trapped in fear. Do not return to the habits that slowly drained your peace. And do not allow old wounds to pull you back into places I already healed you from. You have grown too much to live the same way again. I know there are moments when the familiar feels comfortable, even when it once hurt you. Sometimes people return to old thinking because change feels uncertain. Sometimes they reopen doors that I already closed because loneliness makes the past seem safer than the future. But hear me clearly now. You were not created to stay trapped in survival mode forever. You were created to walk in freedom. You were created to carry peace. You were created to move forward without constantly looking behind you in fear. Listen carefully, my beloved, because this next season requires a different version of you. The old mindset that expected failure in every situation cannot go where I am leading you. The constant fear, self-doubt, and emotional exhaustion cannot follow you into the new chapter I prepared for your life. I am teaching you how to think differently now. When fear tells you nothing will change, choose faith. When your past tries to remind you of your failures, remember my grace instead. When discouragement whispers that you are not strong enough, remember everything you already survived with my help. My child, healing does not mean you never feel weakness again. It means you no longer allow weakness to control your direction. Growth does not mean the battle disappears completely. It means you stop surrendering every time difficulty appears. That is why you must guard your spirit carefully in this season. Protect your peace. Protect your focus. Protect the healing I have started inside you. Not everyone will understand the changes happening in your life. Some people became comfortable with the broken version of you because it required nothing from them. But now you are growing. Now you are healing. Now you are learning your worth. And not everyone will be comfortable with that transformation. Do not shrink yourself to fit places I already called you out of. Do not silence your growth just to keep others comfortable. And do not return to patterns that once left your heart exhausted and empty. Hear me clearly now. The enemy's greatest desire is not always to destroy you immediately. Sometimes he simply wants to pull you backward. He wants you distracted by old pain. He wants you trapped in cycles you already prayed to escape from. He wants you doubting yourself when I am already calling you forward. But my beloved, you are not who you used to be anymore. You are stronger now, wiser now, closer to me now. And the person you are becoming is capable of carrying the blessings, peace, and purpose waiting ahead of you. So keep moving forward. Even when the process feels unfamiliar. Even when fear tries to return. Even when the old version of you whispers that change is impossible. Because I did not bring you this far just to leave you standing at the edge of your breakthrough. The future ahead of you is greater than the past behind you. And you must never go backward again. My child, after everything you have been through, I do not want you to leave this message still believing that your life will remain the same forever. The pain was real. The waiting was heavy. The nights of confusion exhausted your heart more times than you can count. But through every difficult moment, I was still holding your future in my hands. Nothing you endured was meaningless. Not the tears, not the rejection, not the silence, not the battles you fought when nobody else knew how much you were hurting inside. I was there through all of it. And now I need you to remember this truth with all your heart. The decision concerning your life has already been made in heaven. What I have spoken over you will not return empty. No delay, no mistake, no opinion from others, and no attack against your mind can stop the purpose I still have for you. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. And your story is not ending in defeat. Listen carefully now, because this is important. There are blessings already moving toward your life. There are doors I am preparing to open. There are connections, opportunities, and moments of restoration that will arrive at the right time. Even now, while you are listening to these words, I am arranging things behind the scenes in ways you cannot fully see yet. The waiting season will not last forever. The confusion will not last forever. The heaviness you carried for so long will not remain over your spirit forever. A new chapter has already begun, and when you finally see everything unfold, you will realize that I never stopped guiding you. You will understand why certain doors closed. You will understand why certain people left. You will understand why the process took longer than you wanted. Because I was never trying to harm you, my beloved. I was preparing you for a future greater than the pain you survived. So stop speaking hopelessness over your life. Stop expecting disappointment before blessings even arrive. Stop believing the lie that nothing good is ahead of you. Because your future is still filled with purpose. Your future is still filled with healing. Your future is still filled with peace, restoration, and favor. And hear me clearly now. The same darkness that tried to break you will become part of the testimony that reveals my faithfulness in your life. One day you will look back at this season and realize that what almost destroyed you actually pushed you closer to the destiny I prepared for you all along. My child, keep trusting me. Keep praying even when you do not see immediate answers. Keep moving forward even when fear tries to whisper lies into your mind. Because I am already making a way for you. I am already strengthening you. I am already opening doors that no one will be able to close. If you believe that God is preparing a new season in your life, type Amen in the comments below and declare that you are ready for everything God has prepared for you. And if this message touched your heart, share it with someone who needs to remember that God has not forgotten them. Never forget this, my beloved. You survived for a reason. You were chosen for a reason. And what is coming into your life will reveal that I was with you through every battle, every tear, and every silent prayer all along. Forever yours, Jesus.